Welcome back, guys. We're going to take a look at David Pakman, the whiny, sniveling, arrogant snob that he is, complaining about losing his subscribers because they're tired of being gaslit by him.
Yes!
I don't know how this guy continues to have an audience, because I'm going to show you some clips of what he tells his audience and the truth are two different things, but he'll present it to you as if it is the truth. I'm on the road to 100 subscribers, guys, so if you could please subscribe, that'd be great. Let's get into this video.
And I woke up this morning. We had lost 5,000 YouTube subscribers compared to where we were last night. Now, the first thing I thought was, is this a glitch?
What?
We've been on YouTube for 15 years or something like that, and subscribers always just go up. They just never go down. They go up. Is something wrong with my channel?
Yes!
Is someone attacking my channel? What's going on? So I started texting, and I texted Brian Tyler Cohen.
Beta!
And I texted Tyler Cohen.
Beta!
And Brian Cohen.
Beta!
And Brian Tyler. All of them. I texted all of them.
As a beta male, not an alpha male. Beta male, yes.
Beta male! Beta!
I texted Jesse Dollemore.
Beta!
I texted Luke Beasley and Farron Cousins and Sam Cedar.
Beta!
And every single one of our channels since last night is hemorrhaging subscribers. What is it that is going on? Here is a graphic. As you can see, subscribers just go up, 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 and they are down. It is not just YouTube subscribers. We are seeing record cancellations of paid memberships. Record cancellations.
Yes!
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
These are the people that keep the show running. Now, for a moment, I thought, if it's just YouTube, maybe YouTube is purging people who are inactive subscribers. And once a year, usually YouTube does this, and you see a little decline, and then numbers go back up. They're not doing it. They're not doing it. And if that were the case, we wouldn't be seeing paid membership cancellations on the website. So now I understand what is going on. It's terrifying, but it is happening.
You shut up! I'm so fucking scared right now! You shut up!
A lot of people are checking out. I heard anecdotally from a couple dozen people who said, you know, David, I just can't do it anymore. I just can't do it. I'm checking out. I'm out. And the reason that this is terrifying, not only because it puts everybody in left-wing media's livelihoods at stake and at risk, it terrifies me because our instinct is the opposite of what the right does, and we will get crushed if this is the way we respond to a defeat. The right wants us not to exist. The right wants to decimate independent progressive media. And so when I lose 5,000 subscribers, and Brian loses thousands, and Ring of Fire loses thousands, and everybody's losing thousands of subscribers, understand that when the right loses, they get organized, they fund, and they create insanely effective organizations like Turning Point USA, investing in the Daily Wire and building out this huge network of right-wing ideas and influencers. So if you're feeling burnt out, I encourage you, take a break until the inauguration. It's months, okay? Mental health break, do it. But when we start canceling the subscriptions, we are in an algorithmic desubscription spiral right now, because when people start unsubscribing on YouTube, YouTube thinks, oh, we probably shouldn't recommend this content because it's generating a lot of unsubscribes. So then the content doesn't get recommended. And then the message doesn't get out. And then next election, they win by even more. So I do understand the instinct, but if we cede ground to them, they crush us everywhere. Now, we're up against a MAGA Supreme Court potentially till 2050. We'll talk about that later. We're up against a completely uninhibited Trump.
Mr. Pax Men can't figure out why his subscribers are leaving. So I'm going to help him out with that. So I've included 2 clips to show why this guy is so out of touch with reality. He has no clue what real people in the real world are going through, because he's just a rich YouTuber getting paid by the Kamala administration, which those checks are gone. That's why this guy's freaking out, because he's not going to be getting any more checks from Kamala's administration and Joe Biden's administration.
Yes!
To gaslight you, to gaslight his audience and lie to them and not provide them with all the evidence and facts. This is what they do. They lie through omission. Let's get into these couple clips that I have here. And David, I hope you see this so you can see why your audience is leaving you. Because your audience is tired of your smug, snobby, snarky responses to every time you go on somebody else's show. You look like a complete idiot. I don't know why this guy thinks he won in that debate. You'll see in this clip, but in his head, he thinks he won the debate. He thinks he schooled Piers Morgan. This is just another example of someone that can't see outside of their echo chamber. They live in a world that nobody else lives in. They're on like another planet, dude. But he thinks he schooled Piers Morgan on this debate. So I'm going to show you these clips. Let's get into it, and let's see why his audience is leaving him.
He has done nothing while they've been in office to stem this, in my view, horrendously unfair situation of trans athletes competing in women's sports.
I'm struggling to think that you're taking this any more seriously than as something that might generate clicks on YouTube, Piers.
Wow, you
Because
don't think that's serious?
Hold on, Piers, I can't even get a sentence out.
What, you don't think it's serious?
What I'm saying, it's a completely contrived issue that almost no one cares about in every single opinion poll.
Wow, you see, I think that's incredibly deluded. People do care about it. They care about the
It
integrity
just doesn't
of women's
show up
sport.
in any opinion poll as a primary issue. Not top 10, not
Out
top
of
20.
interest, do you
they
think-
care about it,
out of
but
interest,
it doesn't
what's-
show up in a single poll.
What's your view? Do you think it's fair?
I think that it depends on the sport, and I think we need to talk about this for probably 90 minutes to really have a productive conversation.
Really? So when you saw the Paris Olympics and you saw 2 gold medal winners in women's boxing who actually were born with biological male chromosomes, you think that's right?
That is not the truth as far as I understand it. I
Really?
don't know who you're talking about. If you can name them, then maybe we can get into more detail.
Well, you know what I'm talking about. It was well publicized.
Well, tell me. Tell me who you're talking about.
I can't remember their exact names. There were 2 gold medal
I see.
winners. Well, I can find
Yeah.
them now if it helps you. I don't know why the names matter.
The one who was the source of a lot of viral articles was born a woman, always lived as a woman,
What was her
and always
name?
competed as a woman. I'm sorry?
What was her name?
Imani something.
All right, so you don't know either. So don't be quite so patronising if you don't know either. But the truth is...
Well, you're bringing it up here. See,
Well,
here's
the
the
truth
thing.
is-
Hold on a second, Piers. Hold on a second. You do this all the time, Piers. You bring something up. And then you evaluate your guest's opinion as to how much it matters. You brought it up. If it doesn't actually matter, don't bring it up.
No, just to be clear, you were haranguing me for not remembering the name. I said the name's irrelevant. What's relevant is whether the gold medal winners have biological male chromosomes when they're getting into
My
a boxing
understanding
ring
is they do
and
not.
punching women in the face so hard that one of the women competitors, a female, quit after 45 seconds.
Yes.
Because she'd
In
never
that
been hit that
instance,
hard.
there is nothing to the story that the boxer that prevailed was ever a man.
Wow.
Just nothing.
And yet you know
Nothing.
that they...
There's no evidence
you
of
know
it.
That,
It was
you
a
know that
viral
boxer-
right-wing
well, hang
story
on.
based on
Hang on.
nothing.
You know that boxer was banned from the World Championships precisely because there is evidence.
You are really dumb, for real.
You know that, right?
Yes. Do you know the details of that, Piers? Do you know? Tell the full story. Go ahead. Tell the full story.
That boxer was banned, along with the other one, from the World Championships because it has been reported that they tested positive for male chromosomes, right? If you know better,
Yeah.
tell me.
That's not the full. I do know better, and I will tell you. That was done by a Russian lab who had an interest in disqualifying her because it jeopardized the undefeated record of a Russian boxer. It's just, that's all they have, and it's totally debunked. Piers, I thought you were better than this.
It's not debunked, and you'll regret saying that because it's true.
Teens, Rachel Branning shares the details of one key issue that hits home for this community: transgender athletes.
Former President Donald Trump invited members of the Roanoke College swim team onto the stage here at his rally in Salem. A little more than a year ago, the athletes made national headlines when they spoke out against the NCAA after a transgender athlete who formerly competed on the men's team tried to compete with the women. A controversy on a local college campus making headlines in Trump's campaign trail.
Last year, the radical left's gender insanity arrived right here in Salem when a man was allowed to transfer onto the Roanoke College women's swim team.
The transgender athlete withdrew their request to join the team before ever competing, but many members of the women's team were outwardly against the move, claiming it was an attack on the future of women's sports.
The brave members of the swim team stood up to the transgender fanatics, something new in our country.
7 members of that team took the stage in Salem, met with cheers of support. Team captain Lily Mullins says the former president is fighting for the rights of women across the country.
We are so lucky to have a leader like Donald Trump with common sense who knows what a strong woman is and will fight for generations of girls to come.
During the rally, Trump emphasized that the only way things will change here in the Commonwealth is to make your voice heard.
With your vote in this election, you can show them once and for all that this nation does not belong to them. This nation belongs to you. It belongs to you and you.
So this guy needs a poll to tell him one of the most obvious things that everybody knows. Women don't want men in their spaces. You just got the biggest poll ever taken, and Donald Trump winning on running to keep men out of women's spaces. Yeah, he just won the popular vote. So what does that mean? That's the biggest poll you've ever seen of people saying, we agree with this. We don't want men in women's spaces. It's just crazy to me that these people think they're the smartest people in the room. This guy that looks like a worm with a pompadour. He walks into every room and says, I don't need to talk to anybody here because I'm the smartest one in the room. I'm not a goofball. You guys are all the goofy ones. What is this guy? He's like a total meme. This guy's a walking meme. And by the way, he lied about that boxer.
What?
That boxer, more evidence has come out. And what at the time that he was talking about this, she never contested those results when they found that she had XY chromosome. He made up this whole story. Whether or not the woman, they did that testing because of the woman's record, it's irrelevant. He made that all up in his head. He just made that whole argument up in his head. There's no evidence for that. There's nothing that he just says, oh, well, this happened, so that means why this happened. No. You have to have some kind of proof or the words coming out of the person's mouth. You have to have some kind of evidence. These people make things up in their head and then they present it as if it's actual fact. So it's come out that that woman has testicles. She has XY chromosomes. And he has a micro PP. You're done, bro. It's over. But it's not his fault, guys, because, you know, he doesn't even know what a woman is in the first place. Now let's move on to the next one.
I have great news to start with today. Violent crime continues to fall.
You stupid bastard.
And is at extraordinarily low rates for the history of the United States.
You goddamn liar!
And you might say, David, that's not what I'm hearing on Fox News. It's certainly not what I'm hearing from Republicans. I'm hearing crime is up and that under Joe Biden, the United States has become a violent, crime-riddled country, the likes of which none of us would ever imagine under Donald Trump.
What the fuck are you talking about, man?
Well, unfortunately, none of that comports with the facts.
Shut up, bitch!
And this is maybe the most important or notable example of anecdote versus statistics and data.
You're weird, buddy. You're weird.
President Joe Biden addressed crime during the State of the Union address, and he said that we have a historically low murder rate from 2023 in the United States, a significant decline in violent crime more broadly, one of the lowest levels in 50 years.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
And that is absolutely the case. It is also the case that when the overall crime rate goes down, it doesn't necessarily go down everywhere or by the same amount. And if individuals see crime or are the victims of crime, it doesn't really matter to them, understandably, if as a country it is 20% less violent. If you were the victim of a violent crime, you care about it, it still affects you, and that makes sense. But this gets us to public perception versus statistics. And there's a really good ABC News piece, which we will link to, which says U.S. statistics show violent crime dramatically falling.
Are you sure about that?
So why is there a rising clash with perceptions? A Trump supporter is quoted as saying, I don't believe the statistics. And there's two elements to this. And one of them that has to be understood is that much like with the border, absent any real coherent substantive policy package from Republicans about exactly what they would do to make the economy even better, right? Because it's already quite good. Absent any real set of ideas that would make voters say, hey, you know what? Those ideas sound better than what we get now. I'll vote for Republicans. They don't have that. So what they have is screaming about the border and screaming about crime, even if both stories don't actually comport with the facts. So one reason why crime is down, but many people say it's up, is they are being propagandized too.
So this condescending asshole is reporting these crime statistics to you incorrectly. First of all, he's referencing some stats that leave out every single major liberal city where crime has exploded in. There isn't a city in the United States that's ran by Democrats that has low crime. I haven't seen one. And the actual stats prove it now that just came out right before the election happened. When Trump had to debate the people that were hosting the debate as well as Kamala Harris at the same time, and that idiot told Trump, crime's down according to the FBI stats, and then the next day the report got leaked. Yeah, so he was referencing a poll that was missing every major liberal city and reported it and said it was crimes down in America. Go to this video. Go look at the poll he's referencing. I'm telling you the truth. And if you don't believe me, you can go see it for yourself. So it's that simple, guys. I don't need to go into crazy detail about this because I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to gaslight you. Because I actually listen to both sides and I go, this doesn't sound right. And I go look at, he doesn't even show it in his video. He doesn't he doesn't like go through the graphic and explain the stats to his audience. He just says, yeah, I looked at it. Trust me, I know better. You don't know better. You're a fucking idiot. Because this guy is such a social retard, he needs a poll for everything. And these polls are made by groups that have an agenda. They're usually activists that get grant money from people like George Soros to go fund all these stupid polls, because these polls, they'll take 1,000 people and poll them. That's nothing. 1,000 people's nothing. You know how hard it is to get a poll of like 100,000 people? That's a good size. If you can get a poll with 100,000 people, that I would take that. But it also depends on what area the people are from. If you go to some cesspool like LA, you're going to get a bunch of people out there that does not reflect the rest of the country, what they think. It's just not. You're not going to get the same results in a poll if you got one from LA with 1,000 people in LA that are all these deranged liberals. You're not going to get the same results as if you took a poll in like Wyoming, you know? That's why the polls, they're rigged. The polls are rigged. I just want to show these examples so this guy can see why his audience is leaving him. And, you know, it's just, it's so obvious at this point that these people have been lying to you. Because the poll that he was referencing, that was 7 months ago. Now we have the stats that the FBI has screwed up so bad. They only get like 2% of all the crime stats from California. I mean, that bombshell report that came out, that I think devastated Biden's his whole campaign. It was over after that. Because then people saw how bad crime really is in America right now. There was no more hiding it. But he'd been doing this for almost a year. I don't blame his audience. They think this guy's being honest with them. But what morality do these people have? They have none. Where do their morals come from? They hate God. They hate religion. So what morality do they have? To him, if he just says, well, I didn't look into it any further, so at the time I thought I was telling the truth. That's that's stupid. Like, then why would you even tell people? Or why wouldn't you say that? Hey, I didn't even look at the poll the whole way, but it just says that it's down. That's it. So, no, he acts like he studied the stats and then presented it that it was truth. All right, man. I didn't want to keep this one too long. Hope you guys liked the video. Like, subscribe. It helps the algorithm. I'm on my road to 100 subscribers. I hope everybody has a good weekend. Peace.